Right, we're 6 days out, as Ali there just mentioned. We're looking at a Memorial Day weekend, right? Business closed for Monday. What is the expectation when it comes to deal making for folks on Capitol Hill over the weekend?
Well, Yasmin, McCarthy said he's staying through the weekend. His chief negotiator, Congressman Garrett Graves, was around last night and spoke to us after a meeting. But in terms of substance, they are simply not there yet. Our understanding is that the two sides are moving closer on the issue of spending caps, which is the crux of this negotiation. But a source familiar with the negotiation tells me they're still stranded on the issue of work requirements, with both sides dug in on whether they want to toughen up those work requirements for federal aid programs. McCarthy had a little bit to say about this, again, affirming that they're not quite there yet. Let's have a listen to what he said.
Look, there is no agreement, all right? We know where our differences lie. We've worked throughout the day, and we'll continue to work to try to be able to solve the problem, but there is no agreement.
Now, a couple of things to note here. Biden and McCarthy agreeing to a deal is simply step one. They have to get a very unique coalition to get this across the finish line. McCarthy wants a large majority of his House Republican conference. Remember, he's got hardliners who have been breathing down his neck, who have, might possibly come after his job if the terms of the deal are not to their liking. And they're getting queasy about the state of negotiations, trying to move the goalposts by adding conservative measures like border security, which negotiators are trying to keep away from this. And President Biden is also facing pressure. He has to get this. He has to get a significant number of House Democratic votes. He has to get this through the Democratic-controlled Senate. Progressives are warning him not to take their votes for granted if they don't like the deal. And some progressives also say that a bad deal could create a backlash to his 2024 election hopes. All of this in 6 days. 6 days to get this through the House with that 72-hour rule that Speaker McCarthy is talking about, and to get it through the Senate, which could take anywhere between 4 and 7 days if there's not unanimous consent. A short amount of time and a long way to go. Yasmin?
Sahil, I'm appreciative of you kind of bringing up all this fallout. We're actually going to be speaking with Robin Farzad in just a moment about the economic fallout, what that could look like for us all at home watching this thing take place in Washington. There's also, Donna, the political fallout, right? Democrat Max Frost actually had some advice for the president in talking about accountability here and how he should address that. Let's listen to what he had to say, and then we'll talk.
I do think the president should use his bully pulpit to really call out these Republicans and tell the nation what's going on in the Oval Office or in the Rose Garden, primetime address, and really telling the American people what the GOP has decided to do.
We heard Sahil talk about the possible 24 implications for President Biden with the negotiations going up till the very end. Does Max Frost have a point?
He is reflecting the views of many House Democrats, Yasmin, who do want the president to be more aggressive using his bully pulpit to frame up the negotiations. The White House's view is that they're trying to cut a deal here, and turning up the volume and attacking his negotiators is probably not going to be helpful to that. But there is a frustration among Democrats that the president has discredited the 14th Amendment option. He's saying, this has to be done. Initially started by saying Republicans have to do it cleanly, but also saying he's not going to try to use his executive authority, which kind of leaves him stranded, which House Republicans are using as leverage against him. So there's that, and of course the 2024 election concern. This is a tenuous relationship that the president always had with progressives, and the idea if the base is somehow demoralized by this, that is not good for his prospects, Yasmin.